Hello all. Well, the hair's up, but I'm going to get a haircut today. So, I'm on my way to Ulta to get my free gift, and then a couple doors down is Bath and Body Works. Get my free birthday gift from them. Word of advice. Even if you don't shop at those stores, get the app, sign up for the emails, and they will send you for your birthday to get a free gift. I got a free Frosty from Wendy's, a free iced coffee from McDonald's. I still have till the end of the month to get a free cookie at Quick Check, free coffee at Wawa. I think it's iced coffee. Iced coffee or icy, or I think it's iced or hot coffee. Icy fountain drink. I don't drink soda, so. But if they have iced tea, I might get an iced tea too in the fountain drink. What size? I'm not sure. Kohl's Cash from Kohl's. I don't know where else, but several. But on another note, I am talking to like 4 different guys, and I finished that book, which I started re-listening to it, the Let Them Theory. Very interesting, very good. And thinking back, and it says, when it says listen to others, but don't let them influence you what you really want to do. And it also says how, the rules for dating and all this, be yourself. Don't go by the rules. No, don't be so needy and texting all the time and all this, but you don't have to follow rules per se. Be yourself. So I'm sorry, I was checking out Costco gas. I cannot believe the Costco by me, $2.95 a gallon. The Costco here, $2.85 a gallon. 10 cents difference. That is so odd. I'm glad my future daughter-in-law, today's the big proposal. So I ordered these Shrek ears for everybody to wear and Shrek glasses. And I ordered for her Shrek, well, hers is like a headband with the ears and a crown. It does come with a necklace, but I don't think she'll put on the Fiona necklace. I don't know if my son's wearing his Shrek mask, because that is kind of, it's hot. It's not that hot out today. Only 80, my car says 86. So, but in reading this book, sorry, just keep getting distracted. 2 a.m. In this book, it says, don't let someone else tell you what to do. Do what you want to do. As long as, it's not stalking the person, blowing up their phone. And I'm thinking back to a friend of mine who says it how it is, seems to get what she wants, realizing she doesn't always get what she wants. And maybe she's not as happy as she would like people to believe. And she was like, don't answer him, don't do this, don't do that. And I I did listen to her. And then when I finally did answer him, I missed out on a huge opportunity, a once in a lifetime opportunity. And I'm still to this day regret it. So I shouldn't have listened to her. I'm thinking she always gets what she wants. She says how it is. But I learned a hard lesson that day. And really, still to this day, as you can tell, I'm upset by it. But this woman is real. She tells how it is. And something my friend sent me to on this woman that said, don't be so hung up on good morning text. And my friend's like, I know you like good morning text. And I've learned that I don't need that every day, but to hear from them at some point during the day. But this woman said, don't be so hung up on that, especially in the beginning. It's new, it's fresh, they're busy. Maybe they don't want to be so, oh my God, I don't want her to get used to me, texting her all the time, or I don't want to seem too needy. The person that's consistent and shows up and makes plans, that's the person. And then I started to realize that this guy, Kenny, he was gung-ho in the beginning and making plans in the beginning. And then the Wednesday after, like when he said about my colonoscopy, and he said, oh, well, would you like to go to dinner that night after your colonoscopy? And I was like, oh, that would be nice. I'd like that. But he didn't follow through with it. He didn't make a plan to do it. And he just said yes. So I have to learn to say, okay, where and what time? Are you going to pick me up? Or am I going to meet you there? Like, be more aggressive. And I know that sounds ugly dumpling express. Oh, I don't know what the hell that is. All right, I'm going to park here because this is kind of in between the two places that I need to go, Ulta and Bath and Body Works. And this is that the Wine Academy? I thought the Wine Academy was more down the other way. I don't know. But yes, so I'm not going to cut you off, even though I'm here. But this will be a short one. A wine outlet. Oh, it is bigger than okay. I thought it was like real small. But I really like have to learn. Says, oh, you want to go to dinner? Someone says, oh, you want to go to dinner Wednesday night? Sure. Where should we go? Oh, I don't know, we can decide. Okay, are you going to pick me up, or am I going to meet you there? Or if we really haven't, hasn't picked me up, if I am ready for that, I could say, oh, you going to pick me up? Do you want to pick me up? Or if it's somewhere near him, you want me to pick you up? Or say, oh, what time should I meet you there? What time should we meet? If he says, oh, I don't know, say, well, I kind of want to put it in my calendar. How about we go and make a suggestion, and I'll make a suggestion. Oh, how about we meet such and such a place? And if they say, okay, say, 6 o'clock sound good for you, or 6:30? Yes. Okay, I'm putting it in my calendar. So Wednesday night, I will see you at such and such place at 6:30. It's a date. And kind of confirm things. What is this lady doing? Oh, I think they're parked next to me. Just came out of the Wine Academy. Now they're looking at me like laughing. Like, why is she talking to herself? Whatever. So, and not to put up with any crap. And this one guy, I was honest with him. His wife only died 2 months ago. And I said to him, listen, when I lost my boyfriend, I wasn't ready for 1.5 years. Yes, everybody grieves in different. But are you really ready? Like, I really, to be honest, first of all, his work schedule, he's only off on Wednesday nights. I'm like, your work schedule really does not go with mine. I work Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. And you're going into work when I'm, ending my work day. Oh, that's nice. Don't put the car back. So, okay. And then I said to him, you know what? And he's like, well, I'm really lonely. I really am just trying to get out and do things and occupy my time. And I said, well, maybe you should join a singles group, through Facebook. They have events and things, and you can get to meet people. And I said, right now, I think what you need is adult companionship, but on a friend basis. I don't know that you're ready. And I don't even know if you know you're ready or not. So he's like, oh, how do you do that? And I was like, listen, I would be very happy to be your friend and someone to talk to. And I said, here's my number. So then he wanted to call. I don't want to call. I'm talking about texting, dude. I said, and if you would, you're free when I'm free, I'd be happy to meet you for dinner. Nothing more. Just dinner. 2 friends. Just so you could get out and you can talk to someone else and start to, as you say, live again. Enjoy life. So he was very happy and very nice that I did that. And maybe what he's looking for, his wife might have been sick he said, I knew it was coming. I was prepared for it. As much as you're prepared for something, I don't know. I mean, my guy Steven said, oh, I don't think you're over Frank. This is what he tells me. Okay. He meets someone that husband died in May, and her husband was very sick, some heart condition, for about 6 to 9 months before he died. And they were doing fundraisers, and I think he needed a heart transplant, is what I think he needed. And it seemed she was very much in love, and it seemed she was devastated. And it took her a year to a year and a half to change her profile picture from her and her husband to just, I don't know if it was her or her and her kids, but something other than her and her husband. So I call bullshit that excuse. That was just an excuse that Stephen gave me. So, and I did say he was engaged to her, but I'm like, he just gave me that bullshit excuse. But this woman, her husband died towards the end of May, and he met her in August, the end of August. So I'm like, wow. But again, everybody grieves in their own way. My sister-in-law's mom never wanted to date again. Sometimes you just meet someone by chance. It just kind of happens. You weren't expecting it. My, for all intents and purposes, my nephew, not technically, our families have known each other, grandparents, parents. His father married my friend, who I call my cousin. So, and she raised him. So I call, all of them, my nieces and nephews. His wife died in June, and I think it was by chance. I want to say January. He met somebody, and it was just, he had gone out with, I think, his late wife's brother, so his brother-in-law, and he heard her sing. But, he didn't know, ooh, I like her, whatever, nothing. She was one of the people that sang karaoke. And she just had a stunning voice. And I could be telling the story a little incorrectly, but basically that's. And then him and his daughter were going into ShopRite, and he bumped into her by mistake. She bumped into him. I don't know. I think she bumped into him because she was rushing. She was trying to get home, trying to get something to her mom. I believe it was her mom or aunt. I don't know. Some very close relative. And it's like, he's like, oh, you know, she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm sorry, you know, and he's like, I know you. Where do I? And then they figured out. He's like, oh, you sang, you know. She's like, yeah. And she's like, I'm really sorry, but I'm in a hurry. If you ever want to hear me sing, I'm usually there every, I think, Thursday night. So then his daughters encouraged him. Oh, we should go. And I guess it's a place because they're in high school. I guess, you know, they serve dinner so they could go. And so they went, and I guess he kept going, and I don't know all the details. And now they're married. So, but his wife was sick since their youngest daughter, right after she was born. She had something, it's in the family of MS, but it's a very rare thing. And she was wheelchair bound, and he took care of her. And I'm not saying, like, but he wasn't on the dating sites. He wasn't looking to meet someone. It just organically happened. And his daughters were like, you know, go for it. Ask her, you know, like and his youngest was, I want to say 16. Oh no, I'm lying. She was graduating 8th grade or 9th grade. I'm not sure what grade their school goes up to, but she was somewhere between 14 and 15. So for basically 14 years, he was a devoted, loving husband that took care of his wife because he loved her dearly. And I think she is the kind of person that would want him to move on. And his daughters were happy, very happy that he was moving on. They encouraged him. They love her. Not that they don't want her to replace their mom, but they're happy to have a female figure in their lives. So, sorry, I am getting a little emotional because it is a one, these are kind of happy and sad tears. I don't want to ruin my mascara. I think this was his reward to find happiness again for being such a devoted, loving husband and father and doing it all. So I really think that's his reward. And there are times that, and people will go, you're ridiculous. There are times that I say, why can't I meet anybody? You know, what did I do? Did I not see the signs for Frank? And, oh God, my mascara, Thrive. If you have seen me without makeup, and I just decided today, because I do have color on my face, to just do, and this is what I've been doing, and oh my God, is just mascara and lipstick. And I really have to mail these shit. But yeah, so they used to have a mailbox in here, but I don't see one. But I really, oh my God, my eyes are tearing. But yeah, so I really just, this, to get back to this, let them, and, you know, kind of let him. And there are times that I use that, like, fuck him, I don't care. So I gotta apply that, and I know it's let them, but sometimes we just have to say, fuck them. And really just let them do what they want to do. And we were all in the Poconos. My sister and it's not her thing. So it was her choice to not go to the Poconos. And then she said, oh, I don't have anybody for the dogs. I don't want to leave them 12 hours. Because she was going to come up very early in the morning and leave late at night and just stay for the day. She decided, no. She can't leave the dogs. Again, an excuse, I think. Because my sister-in-law was like, oh, you can bring the dogs. Oh, I don't know if, this one. Well, the property's big enough that you can put your dog wherever the hell, on a chain, wherever. But, again, another excuse. So, my aunt and uncle last year went up for the day. And this year they did it. My brother was supposed to stay longer, but he has to have surgery. So, I said, so what are you doing? And my sister-in-law said about all of us, meeting for lunch. So we got a text that he's just meeting my sister and brother-in-law, my aunt and uncle for brunch. And then anybody else afterwards. Well, you know what? Let them have their brunch. Because if my aunt is having a barbecue next Saturday, and they weren't going up the 4th of July weekend. So my sister and brother-in-law and their kids and other halves are going to a Mets game because they're retiring. I forgot his first name. Right, his number, or honoring him in some way. Mets player, David Wright. That's it. Okay. So they're all going to that. Okay, just realized didn't bring my water. That sucks to be me. So, okay. Alrighty. So, they wouldn't have seen my brother. And that would have been, again, I don't think they would have made a special thing to come down this week. If they are, since they're not going to see everybody. But they're not going to, I said, their choice. They chose not to come up when they could have. And when the whole plan changed, they knew enough in advance that they could have went up for the day. They chose not to. So, let them. Oh, we can meet at Homedale Park or go down the boardwalk. Let them. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Sorry. And my daughter said she's not, for whatever reason. And I said, well, my one sister's working, my other brother's working. So she's like, I don't think anybody can make it. And I was like, well, I'm not going because I'll be the only one. And I'm not subjecting myself to my sister's negativity. Let them. I'm not being bullied into going. That's another thing. It says, let them do what they want to do and let them try to say what they want to say, but don't do it unless you want to do it. And it's like, I don't fucking want to do it. I want to sit around tomorrow and basically do nothing, do my laundry, do my cleaning, take it easy, not get dressed, whatever. Maybe go to the pool for a little while. That's it. Let them. Let them have their brunch. Let them go to the park. Let them do whatever they want. And they're going to the boardwalk tonight. My sister texted me. I said, I have a hair appointment. I don't know. I of course I can't say to them, well, your nephew's proposing, so I can't. I think they know that, and they plan something to see what I would say. And I was like, no, I'm getting my hair done. I don't know how long it'll take. I'm just getting it cut, but let them think whatever. And I'll let you know. Depends on what time I get done tonight. Wasn't a lie. I said, it depends on what time I get done tonight if I meet you down there. Not going to. Not. Again, I'll have my granddaughter. I'll have one-on-one time with her. And do I want to subject myself to my sister Why didn't he tell everybody? Why did some people get to know? Because he told my brothers. Well, he wanted to tell his godfather. And he had told my sister-in-law in his drunken state at my niece's wedding. Well, the night before when we were all out. And how are they going to afford a wedding? I just hear all the negativity right now. And I don't want to subject myself to it. My granddaughter will be there, so she kind of has to keep what she says, but she'll still say some things. And I don't want to subject my granddaughter to the negativity. So, not happening. Not going. When it was all said and done, I'll say it's late and sorry, I'm not going to make it. Because my brother-in-law's like, oh, well, we're not leaving till 4:30 now. And we're going to get something to eat. We'll wait for you if you're coming. Let us know. And I said, no, I don't want to eat out. So go ahead and eat. Oh, okay. Well, let us know if you're coming down or not. And this is his way, I think, of him trying to, me to say, sorry, I have something else to do. Or, sorry, I have plans with Austin. And then they say, oh, she's going too. Like, it's my son. Why wouldn't I? If you do know, why wouldn't you? And my one nephew, he didn't tell. The other nephew, who doesn't live with them, also, his girlfriend said, she goes, I threatened him. But their one son, my other nephew, lives with them. I wouldn't be surprised if he told them. Like, oh, I didn't know that, you weren't supposed to know, so don't say anything. Kind of deal. Even though they were told. So, I'm really putting this, let them, I'm trying not to let people get to me, let things get to me. I know it's only been a couple days, but I started to really adopt that thinking of fuck them. So it's kind of, take on fuck them, and that's, my daughter kept saying stuff to me. I was like, let them, and she didn't, and then she just stopped. And I think my daughter was wanting me to get angry and upset along with her. Not happening. I'm not doing it. I'm trying not to let people get to me. So, we will see. But I really have to get in there because time is ticking. Before you know it, it'll be my hair appointment. And I'll be running late. But I think I'm gonna get a cut, like a good this much off, because I want the blonde to grow out, which it is a lot. I'll have it up in a little bun thing. But I mean, when my hair it's like down here, so if I get it up here, I still think that my friend's like, oh no, 3 inches, oh my God. I'm like, well, it's really long and my hair will grow back. And she's like, oh, I like it long, I do too, but it really, I mean, I need a good 3 inches, and like, I'd say bring it up to here, and it's down here, so maybe even more than 3 inches. So I'm saying the longest part of it. And actually the shortest part, like the bangs, because I usually get them on an angle, and I got them on an angle, and they grew out, and I want to say the shortest part is like here. So if she cuts it to the shortest part and just cuts it all one length, I think that'll be fine. I think it will be fine. Even if she puts some layers, then, I think it'll grow quicker and get rid of it, although the gray is coming in. And I'll decide from there what I want to do. If I want to leave my natural color or I don't think I want to do the blonde. I know my friends love the blonde, but it's so much maintenance. Really is. So let them have their opinion about my hair, but it's my hair, my head. So I was actually thinking like an auburn, like not red, but like an auburn. Not a real, but a hint of auburn maybe. I don't know. Because by the time I color it, it'll be the fall. So, and I really need to get back to walking. You hear my 3 medications he wants me to take. The 2 medications last weekend worked wonderful, changing them and adding another medication at night. But I'm still getting heartburn, and I'm not eating anything that should cause heartburn. So, I don't know. I really don't know. But I really need to get back to the walking because I put on a few pounds when I went to the doctor's. But between the heartburn and preparing for the colonoscopy and this heat, but I really need to get back to it. Get back to it. And especially once they pick a date, then I'm gonna have to get a dress, and I don't think it's gonna be anything real fancy, so I don't need a true mother of the groom dress. So I don't think her mother's gonna get too fancy with a mother of the bride dress. So, which is fine with me. But I want to get something really nice and look good in it. So I gotta get on the ball, people. Gotta get on the ball. So, this one guy started to tell you. Of course, went off on a tangent on an whole other thing. But this one guy said, "How you be?" So I'm just like, what the hell? How you be? And I was like, I be fine. Just gave it right back to him. Like, you talk like an idiot. Like, this is your first impression? How are you? How you be? What the hell? Either that or you're a scammer. Because scammers don't know how to speak, English good. And I really haven't found that on Facebook dating. But maybe now I am. So how you be? The other one says, he asked me what I was doing last night. I said, I'm listening to a book on tape. He's like, I watch Mets. I watch Mets? I watch Mets. Said, I am watching the Mets. Oh my God, that's something that, I'm sorry, I know you're messaging, but holy freaking crap. Oh my God. And this time around, I'm not putting up with any crap. And putting up with I'm only dealing with consistency. And after a while, after about a week, maybe 2 weeks, maybe I'll give it 2 weeks of chatting. I'm going to say, are we going to meet? And if they say, well, yeah, but I'm going to say, we've been talking now for 2 weeks. We need to set up a date and a time to meet. I'm going to be forceful. And my friends very much were, don't you bring it up. No, I'm going to, because in this book, it says, don't waste your time. Be who you are. And I am a person direct. I want to know when we're meeting. So guess what? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be me. And they're like, it's like she went in a coffee shop every day. And she was trying to meet new people because they moved to a new town or city or whatever. And she's like, hi. Yeah, and she's like, oh, I see you come in here every day. My name is Mel, because that's the author. And they say their name, and and the one is podcast, something to do with podcast. And I forget what she does, the wife. And I think a writer or proofreader, maybe a teacher, or I don't know. Really, honestly, you cannot remember. If you listen to the book or read the book, you'll find out. So she's like, wow. And now she's really good friends with them. I mean, they're a young couple. They had a little baby when she first, and she saw them every morning in there. And she does a podcast, and he's involved with podcasts. So there you go. They have a lot in common. So she started a walking group every Wednesday morning at 6:30. And it's grown and grown and grown, and there's more and more people. This one invited someone else. This one invited, and that one who was invited someone else. And so, and they do other stuff too. Take classes, pottery or something. I don't know. But she's built, and she's like, you have to be the one to say, hey, I've come in here every day. I see you. What's your name? My name. I mean, she's married, so she's not looking for a date or anything, but she was looking to expand and get some friends and expand her little group. And how are you going to? So you never know what could come of it. So I'm going to be more myself, and I'm going to be, well, it's not like me to be so direct, but be more direct and not waste my time. And say to the person, don't put it about them. Say, I'm a person that I like to meet someone. I don't like to waste my time. Don't say, listen, in the past, I talked to someone, we couldn't, they didn't bring it up, and then it was a month, and then, when we did meet, it didn't work out, or don't get into a big, long history, whatever. Just say, I like to meet sooner than later. And I have said that in the past, and I got away from that. So these guys will get 2 weeks, and then, sorry. Okay, well, let me know when you can meet. And they say, can we talk until then? Say, well, if we're talking about figuring out a date when we can meet, and if they don't like that directness of me, tough shit. You're not going to waste my time by just texting, because I don't want to text anybody. Now, this guy, I have lots of friends. I really don't need more friends, but I feel for this guy. He if that was my father, and my mother had just died 2 months, and he's already on a dating site, I'd be like, wow, how much did he love my mother? Did he even like her? I wouldn't be able to understand as a child, I don't think. I don't know. Maybe they're like, get out there, So, I don't know. I really don't know. So I didn't mind saying, here's my number, you want to chat. I meant texting. Like him, I don't care about texting. We can text all day, all night long. He's a distraction. I shouldn't say that. He seems like a nice guy, whatever. But I don't think he's ready, and I don't want to compete. He's like, oh, I loved her dearly. All this stuff he's saying, and I'm like, oh, I'm not competing with a ghost. That is, like, I used to say until my friend met someone whose husband died, and it did not work at all, because he's like, you cannot compete with a ghost. Last thing, and then I promise I'm ending this because I need to get in the store. But I thought, oh, wow. If the spouse passed away, his wife died, easier. I'm not competing with anybody. It's easier to compete with someone that they wanted to leave, that they didn't want to be with anymore for whatever reason. And whether it ended amicably and, we're just, we're got to a place where we're friends now, whatever. I'd rather deal with that than with somebody who lost a spouse, because because that is not easy to complete with a ghost. It's not at all. So, and that's what I was doing at first with Frank. That's why I did try to date after a couple of months, and I think sometimes I do compare still. I think I'm over that with my therapy. I think I've gotten past that. And the guilt, like, how did I not know? We were having a little bit of a rough patch. Is it my fault? You know, so, but, so, all right, people. See people going in and out, in and out, in and out. I don't even know. I hope these free gifts are worth it. So then I have to get gas. All right. Talk to y'all later. I hope you're having a great Saturday. Bye.